We bring you another Hearts Against Heroin interview update with Somerset Hospital, Conemaugh Health System, and the Cambria County Drug Coalition. And today we welcome Amy Green. She's the Marketing Outreach Coordinator for Drug Free Workplace of Pennsylvania. And Amy, give me a little history and what pretty much brought you to this state in your life?
I honestly believe that I was born an addict. I grew up in an extremely stable, happy, healthy, family-oriented home. Very little dysfunction going on. My parents have been married over 45 years. They're extremely loving. They always held me accountable. I worked from the time I could work. It was an awesome childhood. And I actually started using at the age of 12. And I think at that point in time, I was having some identity issues. I was like 12, 13, didn't really know who I was, and I was experimenting. So I was experimenting and hanging out with people that were not good people. They were usually much older than me. They expected nothing of me. I used to have an interest in dance, and I lost that because I was more interested in doing drugs. And it was very unfortunate. I used all throughout high school, barely attending, never applying myself. I had 2 teachers in high school that saw my worth. They wrote me letters that pretty much got me into college on a probationary basis. I was using all throughout my college years. It took me 5 years to get my bachelor's. I was partying nonstop. I had no idea that I was an addict until after I graduated college. That's when things started to rapidly fall apart. I graduated, which was great. I remember on my 21st birthday, my mom finding like a bong that I had brought into her home. And she was like, we don't know what to do with you. And I was like, but I made Dean's List. So what can you really say? It's not affecting my life. And my parents really didn't know what to do because they are not addicts or alcoholics. They have a son and daughter who are. Things didn't really fall apart until after I graduated college. I was unable to hold a steady job for more than a year. I would end up partying on a Friday and not being able to stop on Sunday night. I knew that I was different, but I couldn't put my thumb on it. People would go out on a Friday for happy hour and start drinking, and I wouldn't be able to stop. The drinking gave me enough liquid courage so that I could go and try and find cocaine. And the cocaine would allow me to stay up, and then I'd be drinking to bring myself down. A lot of different things. Cocaine, and then once I graduated college, it progressed even deeper because I was snorting cocaine so much. It was difficult to snort it, so then I began to smoke it. And then I was doing crack cocaine, and then it progressed to heroin. And I was doing cocaine and heroin, and that took me to my knees quicker than anything else. I was in and out of institutions, rehabilitation centers. I had at least been to 5 of them. And eventually I had gone to the county to try and get help because I was on the verge of death. And I went to jail before I got treatment. I was in such a deep level of denial. I didn't want to be different. What got me clean was my daughter. The minute I found out I was pregnant, everything changed for me. My daughter saved my life. I am not a religious person. I hit my knees one day because I knew, my organs were failing. I was in and out of the hospital, paralyzed for a while because I just could not stop using. I was on a run, and I hit my knees and said, look, I'm either going to continue to use and die very soon. Please put me out of my misery, or something's got to give. And 5 days later, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter.
Someone whose child may be struggling or somebody's struggling themselves that is hearing this, what message do you have for that person?
That there are hope and that there are resources out there. Resources are everything. It's not always what you know, it's who you know in life. And I think that goes across all fields. I've worked incredibly hard the last 2 years of my life thinking about what it was like coming out of addiction for myself and for my parents who had no clue what to do. So what I've done is on our website currently at www.drugfreeworkplacepa.org is under the About section, we have partners. And these are different rehabilitation groups, support groups, holistic healing, and it's all over the United States. And I've put them together all in one spot. So if a person is coming out of addiction, it can help them. If it's a parent of a loved one who is struggling with addiction, it can help them. There are support groups. There is hope. There is help. All you need to do is ask for it. I mean, we have a website. We have a Facebook page. I put our number on there every single day. And again, we'll go all over the state of Pennsylvania. Another portion of my job is if someone calls me and says, I need treatment, I do everything in my power to get them into treatment, whether they have insurance or not. You know, I really look at the individual, and it's case by case. I place them where I know in my heart they will be a success. So there is help out there, there's hope out there, and I don't care where I am or what time it is. If I receive a call, I will do everything in my power to help that person get into treatment right away.
Thank you, Amy Green, for taking the time out today. She's the marketing outreach coordinator for Drug Free Workplace of Pennsylvania. It's Hearts Against Heroin, along with Martin Baker America, Spangler Subaru, First Summit Bank, Jaeger Heating Service, and Rocky 99.
Rocky 99.